Merry Christmas! Today for Christmas Crafts and Chats, I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute Santa paintbrush ornament. The supplies that you'll need for this project are a wooden paintbrush. I'm going to be using a 2-inch paintbrush, a protective tablecloth or mat so that you don't get paint on your workspace, paintbrushes in assorted shapes and sizes. You'll need a little jingle bell, Snowtex, twine to hang our Santas with, an old paintbrush to use with the Snowtex, you don't want to ruin a good one, a paper or plastic plate or bowl, paint, black, white, peach, and red. Here's a bit of a closer look at the Santa brush that we're going to be making. Ours will be a little bit bigger since this is only a 1-inch brush. First thing you want to do is shake up your paint, and we will paint his hat first, so get out your burgundy or your red depending on your color preferences. We are going to paint the handle red. You don't need to be too terribly careful up by the metal because that will get covered with Snowtex for the brim of his hat. I'm just doing one flat side and the sides so that we can lay it down to dry. That way we don't get paint in other places that we don't need paint. I have a thin coat of red, and now I'm just going to lay it to dry. I'm going to go rinse out my brush, clean up my little exploded bottle, and then we'll paint the other side. My other side is dry, so I'm just going to quickly paint this other side. Next, we're going to add the little speckled white parts to Santa's hat. So you'll need a stiff brush. I'm going to use an old toothbrush and your white paint. Dip a little on, and then we'll splatter. We're doing Santa's face next with our flesh tone color, and I'm going to be using a very small brush just so that I can be more careful around the bristles of this brush. So if your handle is dry, you can hold it by the handle, or you can just pick it up by the bristles. And then we'll come back once this side is dry, paint the other side, and then we'll do a second coat for each one. We are now ready to add Santa's face. So we need to decide which is the front and which is the back. My bristles are for some reason going sideways on this side, so I'm going to make this the front where his face will go. We'll need our white paint, our black paint, and our red paint. I'm going to go ahead and do his nose and his eyes, and then we'll do his mustache and mouth last. Well, as you can tell, painting definitely isn't my strong suit, but I'm having fun, and that's really all that matters, right? I'm sorry, Santa. While we wait for Santa's face to finish drying, I'm going to go ahead and add my Snowtex and my little jingle bell. As I mentioned before, you want to make sure that you're using an old or a really cheap brush because Snowtex is really hard to clean out because it's so fluffy. So take a little bit of it, plop it onto the top of Santa's hat, and then place your little jingle bell on it. And then when that dries, it will stay on there. I'm also going to start applying some of the Snowtex for Santa's brim of his hat. I'm just going to do the front and the sides for right now so that that will dry before we do the back. I'm going to go ahead and add Santa's mouth now. Just a little, ooh! And now our Santa is almost done. We just need to string the twine through and do the back of his head with Snowtex, like that. I cut off a piece of twine that's about 12 inches long, so I'm going to carefully string that through here while we're waiting for Santa's pom-pom Snowtex to dry. And this is how we will hang our little Santa brush on our tree. For the back of our Santa, we're actually going to do the brim and make it look like it's his hair. And just kind of all over on the back of his head. My little Santa's all finished. He's all done. He's dry. We're gonna go hang him on the tree. Thanks so much for joining me for another Christmas Crafts and Chats, and I hope I get to see you again tomorrow. Merry Christmas!